Good day. I am Josephine Marasigan from BSTM MT22. At this moment, I will be presenting my answers to the activities shown in the screen. Before we proceed, let me first show you the contents of this presentation. We have here the gap of the study, the research questions, significance of the study, results of the study, the conclusion, recommendations, and of course, my proposed solutions and recommendations to teens. There are lots of behaviors, unpleasant behaviors to be specific, that are common to teenagers nowadays. But I have decided to focus on smoking behavior since I often see adolescents who are somewhat addicted to this bad habit. Fortunately, I have found a research online related to my chosen topic. The research title is The Extent of Influence of Factors in Cigarette Smoking Among Teenagers in Baguio City, a cross-sectional study. This research was conducted by Joan Chiruyot, Marjorie Tuta, Geoffrey Arasa, Sabelia Caprono, Scholastica Cordier, and Simon Camao. We will now proceed with the gap of the study. Most studies have explored about the factors that influence teenagers to engage in cigarette smoking. They have looked at the impact of these factors to the smoking behavior of adolescents, but they have not always sufficiently studied about the potential health benefits a person can acquire when he or she quits from this kind of risky behavior. There are many researches about the smoking behavior of teenagers, may it be international or local researches. But based from my observations, I have noticed that most of these academic papers focus only on finding out the factors that influence teenagers. And in most cases, these studies are providing inadequate information. So, if there are papers which will discuss the health benefits of quitting or not engaging in cigarette smoking, then perhaps more youths will be informed and will be encouraged to stop smoking. Next is the research questions. The study aimed to identify the factors that influence adolescents to engage in cigarette smoking. Specifically, the researchers sought answers to the following questions. First, what are the factors that influence teenagers in Baguio City to engage in cigarette smoking? Second, to what extent do the influence of factors affect the smoking behavior of teenagers in Baguio City? So these questions will be answered later on when we discuss the results and conclusion of the study. But now, let us first proceed to the significance of the study. Smoking is the leading cause of death, and smoking initiation rarely occurs among adolescents, especially in this modern era. Thus, this research will primarily redound to the benefit of adolescents. The direct recipients of the output of this research are adolescents. This study can pave the way of informing them and motivating them to change their habits of smoking. So this part here can be easily understood, so I think there's no need for me to further explain it. But anyway, the research will also be of great significance to the following. Of course, to parents. The given data will guide the parents to have a deeper understanding about this study and for them to be able to identify ways they can possibly do to help their children quit smoking as early as possible. So, the role of parents or guardians in guiding their children and letting them realize what's right from wrong will be a big help to change their way of thinking. Next is the government officials or government in general. The research data and findings can be used by government authorities to make important decisions on how they can help lessen the number of teens engaging in cigarette smoking. This study will as well guide them on creating new policies, rules, and regulations that will include specific measures to discourage teens from smoking. And lastly, future researchers. This study will be a useful reference for future researchers who would plan to make any related study precisely about the factors affecting the smoking behavior of adolescents. And now, here is the results of the study. The study found out that there was a significant difference in the extent of influence of factors. When the teenagers were grouped according to gender, the females smoked more than the males. However, when grouped according to age, 13 to 16 years old and 17 to 19 years old, there was no significant difference in their extent of influence. The teenagers were very much aware of the effects of cigarette smoking on the biological, physical, and social implications. But despite this awareness, the drive to perform the behavior is strong. So, to better understand what these results are, here is the conclusion of the study. Based from the results, the study therefore concludes that there were several factors that could influence teenagers' smoking behavior. Proximity of vendors to the consumers was a very obvious result as to the extent of its influence, and cigarette smoking in response to stress was another factor identified. These two influential factors were true to all teenagers, whether they were grouped into gender and age group. Extent of influence varies with teenagers when they were grouped according to gender and age group. Females were more magnetized to the vice than the males. Younger groups are more influenced by parents and peer compared with the older age group. Despite the awareness of the effects of cigarette smoking, adolescents still submit to the behavior of tobacco use. The researchers have also concluded that awareness alone does not therefore motivate the tobacco users to change or modify the behavior. Now, I will be sharing the recommendations of the researchers to help adolescents avoid this kind of behavior. So, the researchers would like to recommend that an extensive implementation of Republic Act 9211 must be done, particularly on the aspect of merchandising the product, which is 100 meters from any point of the perimeter of the school. Stress problems of the adolescents need to be addressed by providing stress management classes for students, which could also be part of the curriculum. For out of school youths, stress management programs must be conducted by the Department of Social Welfare and Development. This will redirect attention on solutions on how to handle fatigue and stressful events in the life of an adolescent. It is also highly recommended that media promotions and campaigns must be lessened, if not remove young girls as a medium for Journal of Natural Sciences research, a young, sexy, and vibrant image in the use of tobacco. And since teenagers are technology enthusiasts, the researchers wish to recommend a continual advocacy on the effects of smoking and awareness of the implementing law through the use of technology, which can be easily accessed by teenagers. Involvement of other government agencies in the massive campaign for anti tobacco must be employed for the improvement of the youth's lifestyle. And lastly, further studies must be done on finding solutions on how to motivate the adolescents to change the habit of smoking. Those were the recommendations found in the study. Those recommendations are realistic, attainable, and somewhat similar to mine, but I will be more specific. So, as a concerned individual, here are my proposed solutions and recommendations to teens to avoid getting into such risky behavior. Advise teens to participate in tobacco prevention and cessation programs. Smoking cessation medications approved by the FDA are considered as cost-effective cessation strategy to increase the likelihood of successfully helping teenagers quit smoking. Encourage teens to do regular physical activities. So taking regular exercises, whether cardiovascular type exercise or resistance exercise may help adolescents to give up smoking, particularly by reducing cigarette withdrawal symptoms and cravings, and by helping them to manage weight gain. Next, advise teens of the possible benefits they could get if they choose to save their money instead of wasting it on cigarettes. By quitting, a smoker may be able to save significantly and may be able to buy the things that matter most. If teens are only able to reflect on this thing, they will probably realize that it is still worth it to spend their money buying the things that will benefit them now or probably in the future. Advise teens to avoid being around smokers. If teens are being surrounded by smokers, tendency is they will be influenced or tempted to do it. So for this not to happen, it will be better if they will choose to distance themselves from tobacco users. Advise teens to learn new skills and find new things to do to divert their attention. I believe that there are lots of activities teens can do to replace smoking. They could engage in sports, they could watch movies, hang out, and even travel. By doing these things, they will surely forget about cigarette and won't crave for it. Of course, advise teens to sign up for a quit plan and start a smoking diary. So one of the keys to a successful quit is preparation. A great way to prepare adolescents to quit smoking is to create a quit plan, which will include smoking strategies to keep them focused, confident, and motivated to quit, and of course, the challenges they will face as they quit and ways to overcome them. Next, encourage teens to seek support from specialists. Doctors or counselors are particularly suited to help teens quit smoking because the profession has an area of tools focused on behavior modification. When they go see a doctor, they will perhaps understand that smoking is not good and will begin to make steps toward change. Lastly, encourage teens to watch videos or read articles about the harmful effects of smoking. Short clips or literary pieces about the harmful effects of cigarette smoking will for sure discourage teens, or better yet, scare them from continuously purchasing cigarettes. I have also here other ways I can do to help teens quit smoking. Some of this might not be possible at the moment, but I hope that I can be able to do this soon. So, offer suggestions to barangay officials to conduct activities that will help the adolescents, especially out of school youths, to keep their minds off smoking. Activities could include tree planting, cleanup drive, Zumba fitness programs, sports events, etc. Conduct media campaigns. Web campaigns against tobacco use will be a good tool to help teens understand how tobacco companies exploit them. This method will as well raise awareness about the serious toll that tobacco use takes on one's health and the many lives it affects. Next, create informative and enlightening flyers using available tools at home. Hand this out to youths and post this in visible areas that can be easily recognized by adolescents. This could be in variety stores where they often go to buy cigarettes. Do a counseling session with teens. So if I come across teens who smoke, I could ask them to spend a bit of their time and listen to what I'm about to say about the harmful effects of smoking. Lastly, encourage friends, family, and neighbors to coordinate with barangay officials to conduct an annual smoking cessation programs that will be free and accessible to all adolescents in our area. So that's it for my presentation. Thank you for your time and for listening. Hope you have a good day.